Hey everybody, Nick here. Today the boys and I delve into our thoughts about aliens, UAPs, and more on the eve of the US government shedding new light on what they can tell us common folk about the mysteries therein. Let's have a listen. Like we find that we're dating humans further and further back.
Hmm.
Like you can't tell me that aliens haven't had some kind of way with here.
Yeah.
There's no way. It, I was reading up that they were saying that these UAPs, these new basically UFOs were
Uh-huh.
not manned at all.
Uh-huh.
Had there was no way, shape, or form. There's no buttons. There was no joysticks. No nothing. And they said that how can you possibly pilot something like that? And
Uh-huh.
there's speculation all over the place. But from what I was listening in on, it sounded like they were being controlled via the mind. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, how could that be? It's just beyond any kind of comprehension that could you can't go 160 miles an hour, light speed in like a omnidirectional plane. It just doesn't make sense in
Hmm.
our dimensions. So there has to be something going
To tie this in,
on.
there's a historical reference here.
Yeah,
Back during World War II, the Nazis had all these super weapons.
yeah.
They sit and they were saying, like the V2 rocket. The technology for that rocket was like 70 years ahead of its time, and they're saying, how did they get this? They didn't have some of the tools to make that rocket in that time. Where did they get all this from? Some are saying that maybe other life forms supplied them with this. I mean, we'll never know, but I mean,
I don't know if we'll never know. I think we just haven't tapped into that particular vein yet. Like we had basically a hiatus from air and space navigation for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and then SpaceX comes around and all
Yeah.
these other things and NASA gets put back on the map and everything else because you still don't want to be outbeat no matter
No,
what they say.
they're always going
Like
to try
China,
being be competing.
obviously,
Yeah.
China and Russia are still gonna try. I don't know where they are at. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
researched how far they've gone, but I know that we're working on you know via Musk and his associates with robots
Mm-hmm.
and he caught the rocket.
That was
He caught a
crazy. Is that
rocket. How
fucking
do you catch a
insane?
rocket? It's just I mean just the renewability of that alone. We would just shoot rockets up and they would you could basically see where trajectory would be in the ocean.
Uh huh.
But that vessel's done. It,
Yeah.
it, it, it erupts into the atmosphere, breaks apart, and you find a piece of it in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it's got some kind of black box data that it's seen, or reports it via Wi-Fi or whatever else
Mm-hmm.
back home. But now with all you know all these innovations and the shit that he created with that Starlink thing that you could basically set up Wi-Fi where there's nothing.
Yeah.
I just think it's it's getting interesting. It's getting interesting to see how far we could potentially go. Like if it doesn't need to be a super manned thing,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you don't need to send people up there anymore.
Well,
Maybe you need to be exploratory first, and then because I still think we're very far away from yeah, where books are saying, oh, we can civilize,
civilized Mars. Yeah.
what was that Matt Damon movie? He put they were saying you could terraform Mars or something like that,
Yeah, I know what you're
plant
talking about.
in a dome maybe with the right conditions. That's the whole point. It's
Mm-hmm.
like all these different atoms and it's it was like a perfect storm to be on Earth to be able to live here.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were when you were talking about before with the missing elements and stuff, I don't know where they're getting
You're like,
that other stuff. Like the
that's
technology, the
it's
tech
crazy to me.
is
Yeah.
crazy. Well, that goes all the way back to the
The
Aztecs and
and
all that, where
and the
they're just like, how did they build the
yeah,
pyramids?
the Egyptian
Okay,
pyramids. I mean, yeah. I mean,
I still think there's no way. There's no way that wasn't some kind of water aqueduct. I still think it's a big water pump.
That's what you
I,
think it is,
I
huh?
still think. I think with the Nazca lines and all that, they were pointing towards water.
Mm-hmm.
All the symbol, like if you go up, however much in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and look at it, if you point it towards one of the pyramids, it's dead ringer, dead middle.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, like no matter where they were pointed, they always pointed towards the sun and towards one of the pyramids. So I think it was some kind of weird, maybe underneath all the, I don't know how,
So you
but
think it was
underneath
just a
all the desert,
freak of nature
but super
malformation?
pump, super mega pump. The shit that they tried to build. When they were talking about, I want to build a railway system across
Mm.
the nation, have a super train and stuff. I think they did that with water aqueducts all the way back then. Because even if you bring it on a smaller scale, right? Let's say, um, where was it, in Rome and in Babylonia, where they had aqueducts,
Yeah, that
like
was.
like smaller scale, but they had perfect aqueducts to be able to get the water where it needed to go. How? How did they understand the technology needed to do that?
That's the question, right? Did someone come down from above and tell them, oh, this is, you need to be doing this and this?
These people
Uh,
didn't have showers,
they
nothing
they
else,
had nothing.
and then suddenly
It's
I
crazy.
built a monument that's inconceivably large. Like if I were to look up how big the Sphinx was, let's say, or how big the pyramids in Giza.
But it's amazing to me. Think of that. Say there are these life forms, they're watching us, and at certain periods in history, they're coming down and either providing the technology or telling certain groups of people how to make or construct these different buildings or different technologies themselves.
Just,
Imagine that.
just for funsies, I looked it up. So, Great Pyramid of Giza is 455 feet.
Wow.
455 feet. The Pyramid of Khafra is 448.
Wow.
The
Just
Sphinx is 66 feet.
the sheer
It's still
size.
ridiculous.
I mean, the man either. I mean, that manpower. I don't even know how they could do that. They have to have had help from somewhere. But imagine that though, when if aliens do exist in that capacity, and they were coming down and helping people, certain groups of people throughout history, they're essentially playing God in determining the destiny of civilization.
Did you think they would think that we were going to blow ourselves up at one point?
Maybe think about this. Maybe they preordained it. Maybe they said, "Let's see what I'm going to give them these tools. Let's see if they completely annihilate themselves."
They gave the monkeys some tools.
Yeah, it's like
And
we're
figured it out.
imagine maybe we're the entertainment and they're watching the show. Imagine that.
The only other to put that much resource into one section. I mean, that would really boost our egos, right? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're the only entertainment in the universe. It just doesn't. I mean, it would be great to think, but I just think there's got to be something else. There's got to be. I know there's other life. That's not even debatable to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there's other protozoan, bacteria, whatever you name it. Like that's how
Well, that's definitely
that's how we got
one form.
iridium, right?
Yeah.
Like the element iridium was originally from a meteorite,
Mm-hmm.
so it's one of the rarest things on Earth because it's not from Earth.
Okay.
So I think that if something were to break apart in the atmosphere, or we send our junk up to space,
Yeah.
because I think that's the next thing is that we're gonna send some like straight up from what was that Futurama episode that they
Like
were
beam me up.
shooting space into like the asteroid belt,
Yeah.
shooting junk into the asteroid belt
Uh huh.
into space, because where else these landfills are fucked basically. These landfills are getting too full.
So you're saying to shoot them out into space?
Where are we putting it? Like
I mean,
they
space
say
is vast enough, right?
they say we're gonna like get more biodiverse and everything else and go eco-friendly and everything. It just doesn't. It's not at a rate. Not everybody's doing it.
Uh huh.
You would have to really force the issue for something like that to occur. But regardless, I'm getting off topic.
Makes me think. Imagine
yeah.
just how vast space really is. We can shoot this stuff off. Where the hell's it all gonna go, right? I know space. Space is a vacuum.
Well,
But think about this: just how far? How far is it really? We haven't measured the full distance of space yet.
well, you can't because in this theory that we have currently, it's constantly expanding by
How?
numbers that don't make sense. it's expanding to like 10 to the something power. I looked it up recently. It was expanding way beyond anything that we could think of. But it's still like growing further away, and yet we could still look into like the past with that whole.
I've heard of
like
that. That's it's
they're
almost like
finally
time travel.
figuring out what they're talking about with black holes and stuff. They're saying that there might be other things in it,
Wow.
which you
Like
thought.
what? What do you mean? What are they
Well,
saying?
they finally said that they were. There's something that wasn't. This is all theoretical, so don't quote me. But you know, they're saying that in a black hole, it was supposed to be everything is destroyed, nothing goes beyond it, right?
Okay.
Well, now they're saying that potentially you're talking about words that are science fiction, like dark matter, antimatter,
Uh-huh.
but there are particles in it that are dense enough to survive, and that could be the key to something later on. Like it could be the key to like wormhole technology, to like
Really?
like portal.
So like
if you can if you can escape the immense pressure and mass of a black hole, we're talking millions of millions of meters of diameter wide,
okay.
like inconceivable, like almost like a sun,
Uh-huh.
maybe more than the sun. It's just like this massive black hole
Uh-huh.
that if you were to somehow traverse it and pop out on the other side, if there is another side, that's warping reality, and like effectively time becomes still. You get a whole nother section. Like there's something else, like beyond our galaxy.
So are you
Some banana shit.
So
some absolutely like shit that doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form.
so
I don't even know how they're researching this stuff.
so you're saying so essentially
Yeah.
you can look into the past.
Yep.
So this I guess this means the future too. So essentially time travel. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, I mean, is a human going to be able to do it? No, not right now, because if you
The pressure would kill
theory,
you.
right? So, not to blow anybody's minds or whatever, but like we're all particles, right? Like
Right.
we're all, you know,
Atoms and
yeah, we're all things together. Like in theory, if I shared the same atoms and whatever as this table, right?
uh-huh.
Like if I had that, I'd be able to go through it,
Right.
but yet I don't.
Right.
Right, but they're saying if you would disassemble shit
Mm-hmm.
to its lowest core,
Mm-hmm.
that you can effectively, if you were able to dismiss yourself
Mm-hmm.
and then go through and then reassemble,
Yeah.
you could time travel.
Holy shit.
But I mean, the feasibility, the amount of energy required to do that.
I mean the technology they didn't need to create something for us to be able to do that, obviously.
Well, tying back into aliens, like what if it's just consciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what if they've ascended beyond, like a physical form?
Mm-hmm.
What if it's just like I'm gonna project
My thoughts.
myself over here, not just thoughts, like whole thing. Don't even need anything, right?
And
you don't need a body. You just need a consciousness that sends itself through. Maybe that's how they're able to get over here, because you're talking about millions and millions of miles of space and time, and like how are you traversing that?
So are you talking about telepathy?
Kind of.
Okay, interesting.
Well, telepathy to the point of like, not even kinesis. Like you're talking about just
Like
teleprojection. You're basically like that. That was another theory I saw. Was that
almost like
maybe the UAPs we see are more projection based than anything else. But I'm iffy on that, because if they really do, like if the government actually has the tech, right, like Roswell level stuff, they have this weapon effectively, because what else would it be?
Yeah.
It's what they pour billions and billions of dollars in every year.
Mm-hmm.
Weaponry, weapons based stuff. Even companies that you wouldn't even think about provide to this. Like even Samsung provides to like weaponry.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure.
love Samsung, but you know that every company in some way, every big company, provides to some other thing in the back. Even like Ford, even like car companies I've seen. Ford back in the day supported Yeah, very weird shit.
You know,
To anything to get a leg up on the competition.
yes, but think about this. You're talking about projection. So
Mm.
did you see the latest Star Wars trilogy, all of them?
It's been a minute.
Well, I believe. Oh, it was. I think it was. Yeah, it was in the Last Jedi, the second one of that new trilogy, when Luke Skywalker does like a force projection. It's called. So he's in a different location,
Mm.
and he can project like an image of himself
Mm.
somewhere else, and they can actually move, speak, and be as if he was in that place.
Absolutely.
So this is what you're saying that you think the aliens are doing or capable
I
of.
think it's well, you can say anything's possible, right? Like
Uh-huh.
I just don't think it's possible in our 3D world. Like I'm not gonna like.
Well,
All
we
right,
can't do
I
that.
like. Trust me, I would love to. My girlfriend's 3,000 miles away. If I could project myself
Yeah,
over
over
there,
there, that'd be
I would
great.
absolutely do that. But what am I? What am I losing? What am I losing here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I just like? Is it like what is it? The Naruto mind link technique, where once you do it, you like your body's just vulnerable like a rag doll. Like it doesn't. It's very hard to wrap your mind around that kind of concept.
It's crazy though because think about that. If that is possible, how many years from now would they ever be able to create a technology where you can actually bring that into existence? You know, something as mind-boggling as that. It would. I don't know, man. Maybe that would probably take like a couple hundred years. I mean, I don't know that. I mean, although the way technology is advancing so quickly.
I think you can have a force gun, for sure. I think you can manipulate space enough. Like we already have sound projection, right? Like you can blast a sound wave at somebody and
Yeah.
rupture their eardrums and stuff like that. Like sonic warfare is absolutely a thing.
Yes.
I mean, as funny as it is, like the whole I don't even know if that's true. The brown note in music. Have you ever heard the brown note in
No,
music?
what's
Where
that?
if you play it at a certain frequency, you basically shit yourself.
Jesus.
Yeah.
No, I never heard of that.
You never heard?
Wow.
I had to look that up. Hold on.
You know what though?
Continue talking. I have to
So,
look that up.
you know, the government was doing this like in Guantanamo.
Brown note.
They would use audio. Um, what's the word for it? They would
Get this.
audio torture. So they would just amp up music so loud that they would just go crazy. The inmates like until they got the information they needed. It's almost like
not
waterboarding but with music.
Oh, it's not true. I misspoke. But it would be funny as hell.
Did you hear about
what,
this?
What it used to be is an infrasonic noise frequency
Yeah.
that, when played, it would cause somebody to do that. But it's been debunked.
Oh.
But I had to look that up because it's so fun.
That's
like,
nuts.
I just took that for fact too.
See?
Like, yep, somebody could get me with that.
Thank you, internet. So
thank you, internet.
Thank
at
you,
my
internet.
fingertips. That's another thing in itself. How the hell is that happening?
but
There's so much stuff we take for granted.
yes,
Internet is for aliens.
I know. But let me tell you, man. Back to what I was saying though.
Yeah.
Guantanamo, they torture people just by blasting music, rupturing their fucking
Just
eardrums.
playing Baby Shark
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh yeah.
On repeat.
That or they'd make it. They'd like give you quiet for like a half hour, and then
Oh, that sounds
four
nice.
days of
Oh.
4 days of blistering music or just the same song on repeat, and they make you go insane.
Well, you've heard that. No, that's actually true. There's a place that you can visit. It's like a padded room, and it's like I've never heard of the tech before, but it's like almost like negative noise.
Okay.
You can go in there,
Uh-huh.
and it's so silent
Yeah.
that you can hear your heartbeat
Really?
in your you can hear your heartbeat in your ears. You can hear your breathing, like stuff that you like all the stuff that you would think is like automatic, like somatic,
Yeah. That we.
like feeling your blood in your body.
Yeah.
Like you can like some people claim to
They
feel
but
that.
they can you mean
Yeah,
hear it
yeah.
hear it going through
Yeah,
your
just
veins
like so.
That's
the
crazy.
the quietest room. Yeah, the quietest room.
That's insane.
Yeah, the quietest room on earth.
Where is that?
Yeah, it's in. Ore fields 12 by 10 suspended chambers globally recognized as the quietest room in the world. Complete silence, dark. You can only go. They only let you go in for an hour because people go insane.
Wow.
Beyond that, like you have to sign a
Wow.
waiver. I think it's $200 a person. Oh, that's
But
great.
where is this? Is this
You want to go be quiet
Yeah.
for $200?
No, he's like,
I could just do that. I
no.
could just do that in my.
Thanks.
I could just do that in my house. I guess.
Oh, I would imagine that. Oh my god. But is this in the United States or is this somewhere else?
Yeah, so it cuts off 99% of all sound.
But-
The world record holder is an hour and 7 minutes.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
it.
Wait.
Because you'll go nuts.
But Nick,
It's not safe.
is this in the United States?
Where is this? London? LSBU? Where is that? Yeah, London South Bank University.
Holy shit.
Or was that at the Guy? Where is this place? Like, I need to know the effects of that. Absorbs sounds, eliminates echoes, makes it extremely quiet. Yeah, measuring at about negative 9.4 decibels. Negative 9.4. So it can lead to discomfort and disorientation
Jesus.
as people begin to hear internal sounds like their own heartbeat and breathing. Yep. That's bananas.
Probably hear everything going on in your body,
I
imagine.
would love to do that. I would love to shut the world off for a
It would be
fucking
cool to go in
second.
for 5 minutes just to
5
see.
minutes. I
5
want
minutes.
both. I want that, and then I want a rage room right after. And I want a real rage room, not these fake, phony baloney things.
Wait, what?
I looked
where
up
you
a
just
rage
break
room.
shit?
Oh
Yeah?
yeah. I want to fucking go in there and have TVs and cups and shit. Just go in there with a metal baseball bat. And go
Or an
crazy.
axe or something. Go,
An axe would be a little nuts.
Imagine
And
that
I
shit.
mean, I think a baseball bat would do well enough. Because an axe, if that handle flies off while you're going,
Yeah, that's true. That's a safety hazard to other people. You don't
ain't
want
gonna
that.
break. You ain't gonna break them. Well, I guess you can, but you ain't gonna break a metal bat. Not very
Yeah.
easily. You just put something in the room that doesn't give you that much kickback.
Uh-huh.
Because if you do, you're gonna break your wrists.
Yeah, you don't want that.
While you're going crazy. Oh man, I would love that.
I think I've heard of those, and they give you like they suit you up, right? They give you padding and all that stuff.
I wouldn't even need padding. You give me a set of goggles. Give me a set that covers my eyes so I don't get shards, and just absolutely go to town. Maybe not the fluorescent bulbs, because I think there's just toxins that you shouldn't be
Yeah.
ingesting. But
In a
wait.
well lit, safe room.
no, very dark.
Oh, then you
in the
no,
quiet.
imagine you hit your own leg.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
one of those. I've seen
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would love to go to.
They have those. They
But
have those
they're
around.
so expensive. I would create
How
my
mu-
own. I would create some backwater hillbilly bullshit.
Imagine
in
you could, but you could
woods.
charge up the wazoo for
Yeah,
that.
in the
Imagine.
woods. I would charge like $40 in the woods. Nobody take my idea. Charge $40 in the woods. Get some plates out there. Like they do it at the boardwalk. You just throw fucking
true.
baseballs at the plate. I just want to do that, but with a
Yeah.
baseball bat. That's fine. It's fine. You just scream obscenities out there. Maybe pat it a little bit so it doesn't sound like murder every night. Just gotta buy it on some land or something. But yeah, from what I was trying to remember, force gun. Could definitely have a force gun. Because we were talking about sound before we got there. But I think we can have something that disrupts. I mean, we already have anti-gravity chambers and stuff like that.
You do.
So why not bring it the other way? Just something so dense that it pushes you back. Right? Like a real sonic boom.
I can't even imagine though. Imagine how
Like a
you fly.
Pokemon boom.
Yeah, and you just go boom right through the wall
Yeah,
or something.
I think it's possible. I think that's I can't believe that there wouldn't be technology for that.
They probably do. They're holding. It's so deadly. They probably keep holding it back. You know, or they have it. Just they have it under lock and key. I mean, imagine what you can do with that. The devastation.
I mean, it would change, and again, would change warfare. But
Oh, yeah.
I already think we've changed warfare enough.
Oh, we have.
Like we're talking about the drone technology alone. Have you seen the drones do like the? I think in China they have the dragon fly over, and it's a fully coordinated, about like 1,000 drones, but they're all in sync, and it looks like a real dragon.
No.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. That's a crazy, crazy clip.
I'm gonna we're gonna
You
have to
gotta
look that
look. You
up.
gotta look that up because that's a crazy clip. Uh,
I mean,
but yeah,
obviously regular
they do
drones,
that.
yes, but
They even do that with. They have drones shooting off fireworks and everything else. Like they got that super
wow.
coordinated.
So they don't have humans doing that anymore. That's like pretty much automated
I mean,
then.
just the ultimately for drones, it's the tech. I don't think
Mhm.
they're piloting themselves just yet.
Mhm.
That's when I lose my mind if drones start piloting themselves.
Oh, they will
I, you can
eventually.
program it to do it, but you program it right.
Mhm.
Well, that gets into the whole AI.
The whole yeah, them having a mind of their own, and then that's like
I
Terminator
I
territory,
mean,
you know?
that's what I listen to for you know. I just think I think AI is gonna get a little nuts in the next. I think it's the next like
5, 10 years.
maximum 50. But I think in the next 20 years, reasonably,
Oh, it's gonna
I
get
think
scary.
AI is gonna be like a thing, but
It,
not like a sentient thing. I think it's gonna outsmart us.
yeah, but that's another problem
It's
then.
told to resolve itself, right?
Yeah,
You have an Ultron situation with
but
Mark.
see, that's
You,
scary because
of course, it's
that's gonna
scary.
be the downfall of humanity, and then that what
No,
the hell
that's what we were put on Earth for to make
to
AI
to destroy our own
ourselves.
kind. I mean, what the
We
hell?
have, in movies and books we have of destroying ourselves. It's only a matter of time.
Oh my gosh.
The amount of bullshit and hate and nonsense. Yeah, why not clear it
No
out?
thanks. Not in my lifetime, at least. I don't want to see that.
You want to? Pardon the interruption, folks. It seems like they beamed up the rest of this recording because it's supposed to be way longer, but it got chewed up. So, unfortunately, we're going to have a whole new episode on this. But in the meantime, let us know if you like it. Until next time, guys. See you soon.